I'm quitting booktube. TBR videos are so weird because I don't know anything about these books.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Brianna and this is For a Pause in a Book. I make book and lifestyle related content, so if that's something that you're interested in, make sure that you hit the subscribe button down below. Today it is time to talk about my May TBR. You will have to excuse me, I have zero voice, but we are going to try to make this work. It is May. It is time for a new month. It's time for another TBR. I have so much going on in May. There's a lot. I have a couple of collab videos that are happening that I have to read books for. I am going on vacation, so that's exciting. It is the month of Taylor Swift. I get to go see a Taylor Swift in concert, middle of the month. It's also the Smut Den. I will leave my link to my announcement up above, but essentially we are doing 72 hours in the Smut Den over Memorial Day weekend, and that's hosted by Cassidy, Mel, Rye, and then Michelle and I are joining for that. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna have a weekend of just reading smut. So I don't know that I'm gonna actually put any of that on this TBR. I don't know, we'll see what happens. I will be doing a separate pile of possibilities video later on in the month. But other than that, I just have a lot of books for videos. Let's talk about how April went, because it didn't go well. I don't have the books with me anymore. Honestly, I don't even remember what I was supposed to read. I didn't finish it. I know that. I know that I had at least 2 or 3 books that I still need to read and didn't get read, so we are going to be taking a punishment. That means that I will be rolling the D12 dice to see how many sticks we'll pull, but then I'll also roll a D6, and that will be my punishment rolls. Okay, so without further ado, let's roll the dice to see how many we're going to roll. Okay, I'm worried. Okay, there's the potential of having 18 books on this TBR, and if that happens, I know for a fact we will end up losing some marbles. So then there's just the potential for just a snowball from here. So, oh gosh. I'm quitting booktube. I'm quitting booktube. That's an 11. I'm quitting. We're just, okay, so now let's roll the D6. Okay. It's fine.
This is fine. I'm okay with the events that are unfolding currently.
And that's a 3. So we're going to be pulling 14 sticks. That's more than I've ever pulled, ever. Okay. Without further ado, okay. It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm not going to be picking a book from the water bowl. I did that last month. I like to do those every other month. So we'll do that in June. But just so you know, my top tier patrons do get to pick a book, whatever book they want, and add it into my water bowl. And I will pick it and read it in 2 months. So I did that last month. We'll do it next month. All right, let's go. 14. All right, I'm not going to go over all of the rules, but essentially, remember, the green means it needs to be set in the past, orange means it needs to be set in the present, yellow means it needs to be set in the future. If I pull a stick and I drop marbles, I will pull a black book, which will help me pick the prompt. I don't necessarily have any books that I really want to get, or any genres that I really want. I did read a ton of fantasy in April, so maybe want to stay away from that. I don't know, we'll see. Without further ado, let's just jump into it. Okay, we started out with a yellow, which is going to be set in the future. And we have a NetGalley book. Starting off the bat with a kind of difficult one, because I don't usually request science fiction from NetGalley, but I did have this one that I got a long time ago and never read. So that's January 15th. I don't remember the author, but here it is with her. It's like a near future kind of dystopian where everyone in America receives a basic universal income, and I'm sure it's going to have some sort of dystopian social commentary to it. I don't know, I've heard very meh things about it, so we'll see what happens. Pick number 2. All right. An indie book. For the indie book, I'm going to be reading The Whispering Dead by Darcy Coates. This is the first book in the Gravekeeper series. I'm going to try to read this entire series this month. We'll see if that happens. Who knows? That might actually end up in June. We don't know. But this is one of her haunted house stories. Homeless, hunted, and desperate to escape a bitter storm, Kira takes refuge in an abandoned groundskeeper's cottage. Tucked away at the edge of a cemetery, it's surrounded on all sides by gravestones, some recent, some hundreds years old, all suffering from neglect. In the darkness, she can hear the unquiet dead whispering. So maybe some zombies. I don't know. We'll see. Here we are. All right, pick number 3. This is so stressful. Okay, a book by a BIPOC author. For a book by a BIPOC author set in the present, I'm going to be reading American Love Story by Adriana Herrera. I am anticipating that by the end of the month, I'm going to want it to already be Pride. So I'm going to put this one towards the end of the month and read it to like ring in Pride. But this is a male romance, and it's about like an activist and I think a lawyer, and they're like on opposite ends of a battle, but you know, love conquers all. So I think it's gonna be really cute, and Adriana Herrera does write really, really good romance, so I'm excited about this one. Pick number 4. A 2023 release. I do not have very many 2023 releases that are set in the future, so this is the one I'm slating. We might change it out, I don't know. But for now we have Camp Zero by Michelle Ben Sterling. This was my book of the month from last month, and it's a like near future northern settlement. The fates of a young woman, a professor, and a mysterious collective of climate researchers collide in this mesmerizing and transportive debut novel. It takes place in northern Canada, and it's got some sort of like a dystopian elements to it. I don't really know. I've heard mixed things about it, but I want to try to at least read my book of the month books when I get them. That's a thought. Pick number 5. I guess we'll go for a green one. Okay. Okay, an audiobook. For the audiobook set in the past, I'm going to be reading The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. Everyone is talking about this book. Literally everyone. I think there were so many people that read this during Realmathon, and I really wanted to because it would have gotten you a whole bunch of points, and I didn't get a chance to, so we're going to read it in May. And this is a fantasy romance with vampires, I think. I don't know, it's very political based. I think I'm gonna love it. But I have to show you how beautiful this hardcover is. It's absolutely stunning. So we're going to be reading this one. All right, pick number 6. They're moving. They're already moving and we're not even halfway done. It's fine. Green on the cover. For a book with green on the cover set in the past, I'm going to be reading A Caribbean Heiress in Paris by Adriana Herrera. I've had this on my shelf for a long time. Bethany actually gave it to me for Christmas, and I've been wanting to read it. I think the second one comes out this summer, so I like to see if I like it before I, pre-order the second one. But it does have a bunch of like trees and bushes in the back, so there's green on the cover. This is a historical romance about a woman, a woman of color who I think has a rum business, and she's not being taken seriously because she's a woman, and there's a romance somewhere involved. I don't know. TBR videos are so weird because I don't know anything about these books, but other than what other people have talked about, so you're not gaining much here. Pick number 7. We get through this and we are halfway there? Question mark. There's no way this is not gonna fall this month. All right, contemporary. A big book. That's just what we need this month. For the prompt of a big book set in the present, I'm going to be stretching this one a little bit, but I feel like most horror books are shorter, and this one is 469 pages, but that's from Below by Darcy Coates. I feel like it's pretty big for a horror book, so we're gonna count it. Normally I consider big book like a book over 500 pages, but for this prompt, I feel like it's probably one of the largest contemporary books that I have. This is a book about killer mermaids, maybe? No, maybe not mermaids, but it's very much like ocean horror, deep water horror, where there's a dive team that's going to look at a wreck of something or of another ship, and things don't go as planned. Pick number 8. I don't know where to go. Okay, we got another yellow. A book with a beautiful cover. For the prompt of a book with a beautiful cover set in the future, I'm going to be reading Path of Deceit by Tessa Gratton and Justina Ireland. This is the last book that I need to read for my Star Wars vlog project. Essentially, I'm putting out a video on Thursday on May 4th, where I read Star Wars books. And this is the last one that I have to read going into today. So this is what we're going to do. This is a like YA, I'm not even sure that it's actually canon. I think it's lore, but an era of change brings new hopes and possibilities, but also new dangers. And it's about some of the like other like lesser known characters in the Star Wars universe. Pick number 9. Okay. A new to me author. For the new to me author prompt set in the present, I'm going to leave this one kind of open. I'm gonna slate in The Never King by Nikki St. Croix, but I'm going to kind of slate this open for Smut Den because I know that I'm going to be reading some new authors that I haven't read from before. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, pick number 10. I think we're in the home stretch now. They're definitely moving at this point. Highest rated on Goodreads. You know, I don't know what I did to anger the TBR gods this month, but she came in with a vengeance. Because the highest rated book on Goodreads on my want to read and or my physical TBR, set in the past, is this behemoth of a book here. So I guess we're going to finish up the David Bad trilogy and read Empire of Gold in May. What am I thinking? I have so many books to read. This is the third book in a trilogy, obviously set home, like, well, I'm not going to spoil anything, but essentially it's a very political-based fantasy. There is this, like, magic-based, like, djinn-based magic, and it's a wonderful, wonderful series. I've loved both of the books that I've read so far, and I wanted to finish this book, but I didn't want to finish it this month. But here we are anyway. All right, pick number 11. Okay. A TBR vet. For the TBR vet set in the future, I'm going to be reading Blood Trials by Annie Davenport. This is a book that I am using for a project that I've been needing to read for months and months. I really wanted to read it in Realmathon because it would have gotten me a ton of points, but I didn't get around to it because that's kind of slumpy in April, and it happens. But we're gonna read it in May, early May. This is a fantasy sci-fi like blend. I've been told that it's like similar to Red Rising and Hunger Games. I don't know very much about it. I would like to keep it that way, but it has been on my TBR since release day. It's been on my shelf since release day, so I'm calling it a vet. I have the second book on NetGalley, and I haven't read the first one, so this is what we're gonna do. All right, now we are on to the punishment rolls. We have 3 more to go. Okay, here we go. Fantasy romance. Yes, please. For the fantasy romance, obviously set in the past, I'm going to be reading, I believe it's called 6 Scorch Roses by Carissa Broadbent. This is the second, or the like 1.5 novella following Serpent and the Wings of Night. I will likely read this one during Smut Den. So I don't know much about it because I haven't really looked into it. I just know that everyone's talking about Serpent. So we're just going to continue on with the series. All right, pick number 12. Cool, I got marbles. Okay, so we have to pick this, which is an author you've read before. So this is the prompt, but then we're also going to pick a black card and see if we have to change anything. Pull an extra stick. No, I don't want to. For the book of an author that I have read from before, set in the past, I'm actually going to be reading Fiddle and Fire by Ariella Talix. This is a, as you can see on the cover, a polyamorous historical fiction, or like historical romance. I don't know much about it, but I had it on NetGalley, and it looks rather steamy. Could be one that I read during Smut Den. Ariella Talix does do very, very steamy scenes, and I've read from her like once or twice before, so this is what we're gonna choose. All right, so what would have been our last poll, but is not. I don't see a way out here. I think we're gonna get them no matter what. Ah, yay, okay. We got a yellow. It's fine. Did I want that? No, but it's fine. A book for a project, okay? For a book set in the future that is a book for a video project, I'm gonna be keeping this one a secret. I'm doing a video project where no one outside of me knows who these books are, or knows what these books are. And if I give the book, certain people will know what it is for. So I'm just gonna keep this one a complete secret. And you'll have to see. You'll have to see at the end of the month. All right, and what I can only hope will be our last pick. Oh, I thought it was gonna happen. Okay, a 5-star prediction. For the 5-star prediction set in the present, I'm going to be using the book that we are reading for Not Your Mom's Boozy Book Club in May, and that is Gallows Hill by Darcy Coates. I've read from Darcy before, and I really, really love her books. She just has a way of writing horror that really just speaks to me, and I have a feeling that I'm going to love this one. It's about a haunted winery. What can go wrong? Okay, so here's what I have, plus I think there's like 4 or 5 more. Am I gonna read all these this month? Absolutely not. There is no way in history I'm gonna read all of this. But we're going to try. We're going to see what we can do. And I guess you'll have to follow me to find out how it goes. That is all I have for you today. If you're new here and you have not yet subscribed, there's a little red button that you can do so down below the video. If you'd like to hang out with me more, the links to my Instagram, at Goodreads, Twitter, and my Patreon are linked in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.